Okay.
You're fired.
Oh, guess what? Videos now have a loop button
Oh, really?
that you have to uncheck.
That's good to know.
Okay. So,
Definitely.
The
Thank
wonders of
you.
StreamYard. We still don't have blackout.
hey, everybody. Well, that's a great way to start the show. It just sort of.
Oops.
I mean, and if you notice, there was no. It just started over on its own. Oh,
Where's the loop button?
it's at the very top of the video clips.
Okay. Oh, you have to be playing it before you can see it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, that'd be a good thing to have if you wasn't quite ready. Hey, we'll just play the intro again.
And hey,
Michaela.
Michaela and Sarah, I'm just going to ignore that other one. I've done some to him.
Ooh, must be spam.
Oh.
Stephanie's got a new shirt. That's the Stupid O'Clock. Yeah, Stupid O'Clock shirt. It's got the logo on the back.
I can't show that to you right now.
Okay. Well,
That would, I think the FCC would have issues, and for that matter, so would our viewers. So
okay. Oh, but yeah, it's been a rough day on my side.
Tell me you did not put the logo as a tramp stamp on the bottom of the shirt in the back.
no, it's not.
You can just wear your shirt backwards.
I'm just saying, in order to show it to you right now, I'd have to take the shirt off, and I'm not doing that on camera.
Okay.
All I'm going to say is thanks for the idea, Dan. I'd never thought of that.
Well,
It's the stupid tramp stamp.
yeah.
And Facebook user saying, haha, love the shirt, thank you. Oh, and John's looking for the button.
No, I'm not.
No. Michaela's daughter started driving.
Just so you know, I'm posting something to Armchair Rocket Science.
Driving her crazy.
Oh, I think that's been going on for years. It's automobiles. Michaela, is it no longer safe to go north of the Mason-Dixon line? Is that what you're saying?
Well, talking about driving, I have a friend who was I will call him a professional race car driver because he raced at the big, Daytona, Talladega, Pocono, Watkins Glen, all the big some of the big NASCAR speedways. He said, I can teach anybody to drive. I took him. I said, anybody? He says, anybody. I handed him the keys, said, take my wife out.
Oh, God.
He came back about 5 minutes later, maybe 8, pulls in. He's driving. Pulls in, pulls the key, walks in, hands me the keys, says, "Let the bitch walk." Went and opened 2 Budweisers and was double fisted.
Does Donna not drive?
No,
I did not know that. Okay. Hey, Carl.
Oh,
not a Carl. And then Michaela saying, "Yeah, she's driving around the farm. That's the best place to learn. There ain't much to hit."
you really? That's that and very large parking lots is where I learned. Open field. Uh, when it was time to collect the hay bales my father had generated with the tractor, oh, 50 billion of them every summer. Um, oh dear.
I was
And
driving the tractor before I was driving a car, so driving a car came relatively easy.
Yeah,
Dan, he didn't collect hay once a year, did he?
it was about 4 times a year, weather permitting, and you're talking along with the places that we rented rather than just what we owned. It's going on 100 acres 4 times a year
Yeah.
on the little square bales, not the great big things that you
Hmm.
use with a tractor now have a little spike that you pick it up and trundle around gently. No, you had to get off, walk around, throw those up on the truck,
Had the
and
machine.
hope you didn't knock anybody off. Nope, no, no,
Yeah,
no machine to pick it up.
you went through cutting. You cut like one day, and 2 or 3 days later, you come through and bale it up with the little machine that pooped out the little square bales.
Uh
And
huh.
then there were 2 guys, one on top, one on bottom. Thankfully,
No, with us it was two in the truck bed, one driving, and one sometimes two on the ground throwing the bales up. And we're talking a lot of times it was coastal Bermuda. So about 120 pounds per bale getting tossed 8 feet in the air.
They call that
And
bucking
then
bales.
and then you have to move it into the hayloft.
Well, we didn't have a loft, but thankfully we had several places in the barn that were not loft-like at all. But um, it got stacked up, and then there were times when it got sold to somebody in Knoxville, and we had to load it up on the dump truck and drive it interstate.
yeah.
I got pretty good at driving a split
Leaving
fuel
confetti
transaction.
behind you all the way.
Oh no, not all the way. It uh, the way that we did it, the confetti was going after the first 10, 15 miles. The rest of it was delivered. Daddy made
I
some
showed
tight hay
Speed
bales.
says we're old as yeah, we can't say that, but yeah, I think the combined age right now would be what 150.
Combined age is closer to 250.
Yeah, probably.
It's
I think you're
Yeah.
missing a decimal point there somewhere,
really.
boy.
Yeah, I'm going to be 60 in July, so
Yeah,
we're
but
getting up.
between me and Bill, we've already got 125. I mean,
There you go.
Oh
Okay.
no, but and one thing also, Dan, you didn't bale it while it was too green either.
Oh no.
not unless we were bailing custom for somebody else and they demanded the job done, and then the price for running the hay baler through the field increased by about 30%.
Hmm.
So that's going to do some damage to some equipment there, a little bit of wear and tear, and having to stop a lot and splice broken twine and things.
Well,
And
also those green bales get a little warm in that.
we had one fellow that insisted on baling it before it was dry enough. And I think the third time his barn burned down, he finally learned his lesson.
Yeah.
Of course, he was not one of the regulars. He had moved in from the city
Uh,
and was making a go of farming. So, it, if he was going to say my way or the highway, uh, we charged extra. And
Life is a highway.
mhm.
and as Dan says, this is not.
Thank you so much for the earworm.
Very welcome. That it's a good earworm.
Yeah.
John, we're going to have to get, speaking of highways, we're going to have to get your sister on here sometime.
I don't know what she's doing right now.
You ought to call her. Or get a hold of her and tell her just to drop in. That way we can embarrass you.
Oh no, trust me.
We don't do that already.
I want to see the. I want to see the day
I'm
that
the
we can
oldest
embarrass
kid in
John.
the family. I don't get embarrassed. Okay. She's the youngest kid in the family. Guess who gets embarrassed? Really bright pink. You think I'm red? Wait till you see her.
I was almost late to stupid o'clock because I saw John pick up his bottle and I realized I had a bottle chilling and I had forgotten it. So I jumped up and ran to get mine.
Okay. So did you hear what happened today up in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania?
No.
2 workers at the Hershey Chocolate Factory fell into a vat of chocolate.
They Willy Wonka. Or,
And had to be rescued. The rescue team had to go in and cut the tank open to get to it. Apparently, it's a fairly big tank. And when they fell into it, it was like 20, 30 feet fall. No word as to whether or not there was any chocolate in the tank or if Oompa Loompas were involved.
Did they survive or not?
Apparently, they got rescued. Yes, they got pulled out. So.
Okay, well that's better than dead bodies in the chocolate.
In chocolate bars, yeah.
yeah, they'd had to throw that whole batch out.
I've heard of death by chocolate before, but usually it comes in smaller boxes.
Yeah.
Oh no, that Hershey, that doesn't have almonds in it.
Details
If they
about
take the
fell
bones
into the
out,
tank.
it isn't crunchy. Now is it?
There are no details over whether it was filled with chocolate at the time or the extent of the victim's injuries. But they were
It
rescued.
says chocolate was up to their waist.
Okay.
So all kidding aside, can you imagine the cost?
of
because-
cutting a
and
hole
I'm-
in that and then sealing it back up to start production again.
Well, I'm wondering if
I'm
you
not
could
touching
seal it.
Soylent Brown, man. No.
It used to be, people.
And Carl says he won't be buying any Hershey's for a bit. Well, Carl,
Now I
probably
gotta go see who dubbed.
you could
Put on
probably you could probably get away with it for about the next month because they've got at least that on the warehouses.
What was it? They just had a guy at Caterpillar fall into a tub of molten metal.
Briefly.
Bet he didn't survive.
No, you don't survive that one.
You might. Depends on how you fell in.
Or you turn into the Joker. Or Molten
No.
Man.
Hmm.
Ah,
Yep. I'm more familiar with molten glass. And
Okay,
if
good.
you fall in to that, you're not even going to hit the surface. It'll just
You
be a plume of smoke before any remains could actually settle. It's that hot.
so you're saying you disintegrate before you hit it.
No, you
Incinerate.
combust before you hit it. It's kind of like you would combust way before you reach the photosphere of the sun.
Yep, this stuff is like 1,000 degrees hotter than a crematorium.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be quick.
There are stories from some of the people that work back there about birds that fly in and don't fly out again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're not phoenixes, so they don't come back from the ashes.
Uh, well, can you tell when you do testing what part of the batch they were in?
As big as that tank is, you could throw a whole football team in and still couldn't get the increase of calcium or anything else to register on any instruments. I mean, this is bigger than an Olympic swimming pool, basically. That's quite a puddle of molten glass.
I'm hearing something. I don't know what it is. Oh, and by the way, I'm very proud of myself. I sent Dan a message earlier today. I beat the BBC on a copyright claim.
Really?
And I have learned that whoever it is that's filing a copyright claim on the photograph at the end credits of Last Man Standing will withdraw it automatically once they're told over and over again that it's a NASA photograph used with permission, taken from the Creative Commons, and has been in use for 25 years. So, they've withdrawn their claim twice now.
Yeah.
They keep it's some bot that keeps filing it automatically. That's all it is. I don't even worry about it anymore.
Claiming that they're I mean, I listened to the area. There was no music at all. It said there was a claim at a certain section from BBC Studios. I'm going to tell you, if there is a fake bot claiming BBC Studios, they're going to be in trouble real quick.
Doctor Who will get on it.
Dan understood. Excuse me. Dan understands about the BBC. They don't play with their copyright.
No, and neither does NASA.
Yeah.
They'll get Perot on the case.
Oh.
Perot is French or Belgian, actually.
Okay, Miss Marple, whatever.
Sherlock Holmes. You couldn't have gone to Sherlock Holmes. The British,
Well, they haven't had him on there for quite a while.
Beg your pardon.
He's Doctor Strange now, anyway.
Yeah. He's gonna ride that pony as long as he rode Sherlock Holmes.
Well, they started jumping the shark there at the end, so.
There's this episode of Doctor Who where they have an adventure with Vincent Van Gogh.
Oh, that's one of the best episodes.
Yes.
That's my favorite one.
If you've ever seen it, it is the greatest Doctor Who writing they've ever done. Plain and simple. And the acting's great too, because they got great actors doing characters. Unfortunately, that, in my opinion, is the episode that killed Doctor Who.
Because nothing else could live up to it?
It set the bar too high, and nobody else will be able to write anything of that caliber ever again.
I think Stephen Moffat wrote it, didn't he?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up.
I'm thinking he did. Yeah, the episode is called Vincent and the Doctor.
Yep.
With my favorite Dr. Matt Smith and my favorite companion, Amy Pond.
Oh, one of my favorite episodes of Doctor Who only has the Doctor interacting with the main character of the episode for less than 10 seconds. The other character's in it the whole time.
I bet I know which one that is.
Which one?
Don't blink.
Don't blink. Yeah.
Well, it's actually Blink is the title.
Timey-wimey kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, it was a Dr. Light. episode, which meant the actor was having a break and just did what amounted to 2 scenes, and not counting the videotape stuff, but that was it. That was it. And the background character that was leading the episode had the entire show basically, and they do that from time to time.
Well, it was also pitched as a spin-off pilot.
And there's a lot of complaints that the young lady that played Sally Sparrow never got to be a companion.
Yeah.
Of course, they do that a lot when a really terrific character shows up in an episode, and the Doctor just leaves, and they go, "I should have took him with you." No, well, can't take everybody.
That was Matt Smith one too, wasn't it?
No,
The
that was
TARDIS, the TARDIS would hold it, but the scriptwriters can't deal with, an
Well,
entire university in there.
If they kept going and going and going, eventually the TARDIS will be like, enough's enough.
well.
Because let's face it, the TARDIS is, the TARDIS could do that. It could say enough's enough.
Yeah.
Now, the TARDIS is intelligent. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's also the Doctor stole the TARDIS.
No, the TARDIS stole the Doctor.
Or something like that. And so technically the TARDIS is a renegade AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it could, there's no telling what a TARDIS could do. If it's an AI.
I sort of think the TARDIS has a thing for the Doctor, actually.
Yeah. There was another almost companion that they wanted her as a companion. She wanted to be a companion. The agents and lawyers just couldn't get the agreement right.
That's sad.
Kylie Minogue.
Oh yes, the Titanic episode.
Yeah. She wanted to be a companion.
She'd have been a good one.
Wanted her as a companion. Moffat wanted her as a companion.
And her agent wanted too much money.
Yeah.
See, that's where she should have fired that damn agent.
Uh-huh.
She probably wasn't making very much off of her cover version of the Locomotion anymore, like she did when she was younger.
Doesn't matter.
Well, she actually has a pretty good stage performance. She had breast cancer for a while, had surgery and all that sort of stuff like that, and then redid her show, and then did Doctor Who, and apparently that's one of those cases where the agent screwed him. Who was the guy? He was a Hispanic singer. I'm having trouble remembering his name. He was in the movie The Dirty Dozen. He played one of the Dirty Dozen. But they filmed the first half in England when they were training at the training barracks, and he did a great job. And then they stopped production to build this chateau in France for the second part of the movie. So while they were building the chateau and everything, they took a break from the production. And then when it came time to go back into production, his agent held out for more money. So it wouldn't let him come back unless they basically quadrupled his salary. And when they started
Trinidad
filming,
Lopez?
That's it. Thank you.
Trini Lopez, yeah.
Well, yeah, but Trini is his nickname. Trinidad Lopez III.
And basically, when they started the production in France and the whole group landed by parachute, the first person to die out of the Dirty Dozen broke his neck in a parachute landing was Trini Lopez's character. That's how they just, you want more money? You're out of here. They didn't even put his face in the second half of the movie. He just died in a parachute accident. They mentioned it, and that's it. Went on with the mission.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm trying to think of what song he was famous for that he sang.
Oh,
God.
It's in the movie too.
Right.
Well,
Don't look at me. I'm usually good at
I am
music
too.
trivia,
I'm
but
just,
I
my
have
brain's not,
no
my brain's not
idea.
working today.
Oh,
If I had a hammer, lemon tree.
Lemon tree.
Lemon tree.
That's
The
the
Lemon
one.
Tree song. Yeah.
I wanted to say apple tree. That's where my brain was. I was like, no, it ain't apple tree. Of course, that was a World War II song too.
yeah.
Don't sit under the apple tree.
It took me.
with
It took
anyone
me a
else
minute.
but- Yeah.
I had to remember Andrews Sisters, and then I could
Andrews,
remember
yeah,
the
there you
song
go.
title.
Speaking of
Apparently,
that,
they were really into trees back in the 1930s and 40s.
yeah.
My brain is still packing for LibertyCon, and will be for the next 2 weeks, even after the con's over. So,
I do not
Don't
have.
overpack.
I do not have an invitation. Nobody has asked me to work LibertyCon, so I may have to go there and beg for a badge. If you see me running around and my name tag says Fritz Lang, that's
Just make up your own badge. What the hell?
apparently Fritz isn't going.
Yeah.
yeah, he and Stacy
So I may
have
show up and get his
something
badge.
that came up at the last minute that they can't avoid. So that will be unfortunate, but these things, they happen. I'm wondering how many more years I can actually make the drive, because it's starting to get a bit painful to be in a car for very long. So
Tell me about it.
I'm going to have to figure out a way other than the interstate to get there from here, because I'm tired of that doggone traffic jam every time I hit.
Go up through Bridgeport. I can't remember the name of the highway, but there's a major highway. It used to be a backwoods kind of thing, but they've improved the roads, so it's actually a pretty decent drive.
Do you got MapQuest downloaded?
MapQuest still exists?
I got maps on my.
Oh hell yeah! MapQuest is the best. It's better than Google. I'll tell you that by a landslide.
Back up from pretty much probably Nickajack all the way to downtown.
Yeah.
41.
Okay. I'm pulling up.
It's
so I can have a look here.
74. No, I'm sorry, 72 goes up to Bridgeport, and that looks like that's a major 2-lane highway.
Yeah, that's 4-lane divided. That's the way I usually go to get to I-24.
When you get to 24, just keep going straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll take you all the way. 72.
And then 41 sort of kind of parallels 24.
Yeah. It takes you down the river.
Okay.
But if there's a wreck on 41, it's worse.
Or if you have a construction, which it's summertime and there's construction everywhere.
Apparently.
But then I'm
not sure where you're at, but apparently you go from Huntsville to Scottsboro, and then from Scottsboro up to Kimball, and then from Kimball to Chattanooga.
Yeah. South Pittsburgh, Kimball, and then Kimball to Chattanooga. Yeah, that's.
Now, Kimball to Chattanooga is I-75, or no, 24. Excuse me,
I-24. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go 41, it looks like it still runs into 24 just before Lookout Mountain.
Yeah, it goes under 24.
It does? Okay. And then on this map, it looks like it turns into US 11.
Yeah. And then it'll take you right out to bring you to Broad Street.
Okay.
It turns into Broad Street. Broad Street's 41 for a while.
Give my regards to Broad Street.
I've got to try and get my GPS to quit trying to get me to Market Street when we're not there anymore.
Set your filters.
I don't know what I did when I plotted the route, but
why would Broad Street be a problem? That's still middle of downtown Chattanooga.
I don't know.
Unless you're on South Broad, then you're Lookout Mountain.
I don't know. I got somewhere in a bunch of one-way streets, and the GPS signal went dead, and I had to go. Ooh, it's 3 rights, or is it a right and 2 lefts, or
You know what's funny? I've still got my Rand McNally big travel map. It's like 2 foot wide, 3 foot tall, down in the garage.
Yes, and mine hasn't been updated since 1978. The downloads just don't work.
Just in case of a nuclear war, I know where I'm going.
I got a 2018-2020 Illinois state map for the same reason. It's in a Ziploc bag in the glove box of my car.
You know what's funny? I've got a world map that I used to have back when I was in the military. When it was on my barracks wall, and it's still got East Germany, West Germany, Czechoslovakia.
Oh, you were talking about World War II songs and stuff earlier. Today is the anniversary or the birthday of Cole Porter, who was very famous for a lot of those songs.
He didn't really do World War II songs, but
he did a lot of songs during World War II, though.
Did he? I thought his time was before. I thought he was like 20s and 30s, but I might be wrong.
Well, that's when he started. He had Cole Porter songs for a long time. And then also, too, to slide over into rock is anniversary of Jackie Wilson's birthday.
Oh.
And, oh, man, he was great. He started out Motown, but him and the Funk Brothers would actually kind of sneak over from Detroit to Chicago to record over there because they got paid more to record over there in Chicago than what Berry Gordy was paying them at Hitsville, USA. And that's where Your Love Is Lifting Me Higher and that workout song that he did, all those were all done over in Chicago. They were not done at Hitsville.
Oops.
All right, I'll be right back.
We'll both be right back.
I'll be all on up here.
I'll be right front.
I was stationed up at Fort Knox, and they had this big movie theater over there. And it's the Glenn Miller Movie Theater. It's not really a movie theater, it's an auditorium, but it's where you went to get all your brief. They did your safety briefings and your sexual harassment briefings, and any other briefing they did was over there at the Glenn Miller Center. And strange enough, it was over by Disney Barracks, Disneyland as we called it. You ever saw the movie Stripes with Bill Murray? They filmed that at Disneyland at Fort Knox. So that's actually all those. And then they went right after I left Fort Knox. They bulldozed all those old World War II barracks. It was really depressing to watch that happen. It was just all that history just bulldozed.
What was the name of the camper again?
Oh, the EM50, the Urban Assault Vehicle.
Yeah, I love that.
Because, I have this list. If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to start building like sci-fi vehicles. And that's one of the ones I actually want to build and like drive it to Dragon Con and put it in the parade. I want to do the Judge Dredd motorcycle, the Lawmaster, and get the whole Judge Dredd armored thing. Just drive it through.
I actually heard today that speaking of vehicles from the movies, I didn't catch it, but they said they got the title for the next Ghostbusters movie with the kid cast, as I call them.
What's the
Okay.
title?
I did not catch it.
It starts with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
The Next Generation.
Well, they can't call it Ghostbusters 2, but unless it's Ghostbusters Afterlife 2. I liked the movie.
Ghostbusters, The Next Generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, John, I've always sworn up and down that if I ever win a big lottery, that I'm going to contact the folks that have the blueprints for the Landmaster and have another one built just for me.
Apparently, there's some guy trying to rebuild that thing. It's just A, money, B, materials, because it's kind of a weird material vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And and most of the drivetrain and everything's probably obsolete that they quit making.
It wasn't so much they quit making it. Everything on that, the drivetrain was custom because it had those 3 wheels and the whole wheel hub would rotate, so you could climb rocks with it.
Yeah,
and that was the guy who did it. I wish I could remember his name because he deserves credit. He based the nose off of the old BRDM Soviet reconnaissance vehicle, had those rotating hubs. It articulated in the middle, which was a big thing back in those days. Military was big into articulated vehicles back in those days. You had the Goer and what the Gamma Goat vehicles, where instead of the wheels turning, the vehicle articulated to turn. And the only problem was they did this to go over rocks, and that was the weak point in those vehicles. Was this articulate, because it only articulated so much this direction, and Joe can kill a vehicle.
Well, I'm sorry. Damn.
You've heard about childproofing a vehicle? Childproofing ain't got nothing on Joe. Okay.
Guys, please. It wasn't the lady pulled out in front of me.
Wrong Joe.
A tree jumped out in the middle of the road and took a big bite out of my car.
There was a book that said the Gamma Goat could calm a tree. Joe tested the theory, and it turns out, no, it won't actually calm a tree.
This other Joe.
Yeah, the other Joe. Yes. Several of them, actually.
I'll tell you, I saw something today that it made Donna draw up, made me draw up. It made the guy coming down Access Road this way towards this draw up. And the lady in the car, probably her heart stopped about 5 beats. A deer decided, there was probably a quarter mile between me and the lady in front of us. This deer decided to run out in front of her. In front of a guy coming this way pulling a construction trailer. I mean, this deer, full blown run, and she locked the brakes up, sliding. I'm already on the brakes. And Nana says, we could have got in the middle. I said, no, I had plenty of room to avoid that. The guy in the white truck probably about pooped his pants, but I know the lady did.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Joe could never be an astronaut.
Oh, I could be an astronaut, but I would be spending a lot of time in the airlock.
Nope, you can't take off your spacesuit yet. Okay.
It's called venting.
Stephanie got that. I just wonder,
and decided to just leave it there.
I just wonder if that's ever been threatened on the shuttle or space station.
Judging by how aromatic the shuttle often was when it came back to Earth, I expect so. But see, they got to go in and clean everything out.
Yeah. I've read something, and I'm sure you'll see it pop up on internet from time to time where they talk about how the U-2 pilots and the SR-71 pilots had a special diet
Yeah.
that they were supposed to be on like 1 week before they went up on their missions. They had to eat this special diet so that they wouldn't have gastrointestinal problems in the high altitude aircraft for several hours at a time.
Yes, because as soon as you get up there, you're depressurizing compared to what your gut is used to, and that can be really, really painful.
Yes.
I'm guessing that pickled eggs and burritos was not on the list.
Oh, I'm sure they were not.
It's actually, there's a training manual that somebody posted online.
Carl, at this point, I'm sure you're right. Sorry, John, go ahead.
I do wonder about that sometimes, because I know that everything on the space station kind of gets filtered. But
you can't filter gases. You can absorb them. But
well, yeah, same thing. But
I wonder if they could just load everybody up into their escape modules and just vent it every now and then.
Vent the whole space station and then repressurize it.
Yeah, but then you got to bring up the air to repressurize it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that there are several experiments that would be kind of
I was reading something
not vacuum friendly.
I was reading something the other day. The Soviets want to build a new space station after the ISS is decommissioned. But to save money, they've talked about pulling certain modules off of the ISS to build the new space station, because the Russians built these modules. So, modules are fine. Why not keep using it? But some Russian doctors like, oh, hell no, because the amount of staph bacteria that is built up on the ISS over the last 2 decades, by the time you get it onto the new space station, this stuff is going to be that super staph that, like kills people on sight.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Should we ignore that or just talk about him while he's talking on the phone?
Oh,
I don't know.
Away. Okay.
If he's like me, the headphones still work even if the microphone's turned off.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, it said ding-a-ling. It's for you.
No, Bill completely left the studio, so he didn't hear that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Time to concentrate.
Well, Monday's the big day for SpaceX.
Which big day?
Okay. Oh,
The
I
FAA.
wanted to ask.
I just posted that to
Armchair
Rocket Science, that they're going to get their environmental review for launching all these rockets down there at Boca Chica. And everybody's wondering whether or not the federal government's going to screw SpaceX.
Well, the thing is, they have approval to launch Falcon 9s out of Boca Chica. They've got the approval. The only problem is the Falcon 9 is 9 engines, not 33.
Yes. The new Star. What? Okay, you got Starship, and then the Super
Heavy's the booster, but the whole system is called Starship.
Thank you. And
Could
it's
be
carrying
worse.
It's carrying a lot of fuel.
They could be trying to use the old Orion.
Yeah.
That would have a hell of an environmental impact.
It takes 48 trucks of liquid oxygen and 35 trucks of liquid methane to fully fuel both units.
Oh, hey Joe, maybe you know.
That's a bomb.
Elon was trying to get his own gas production plant out there.
They've backed out of that.
Man,
That's
They who?
SpaceX.
Okay.
They backed out of that as part of trying to get the approval to launch.
where they're sitting in Boca Chica is actually a gas reserve. So if they were to drill down, they could make their own gas.
They don't need to drill down. Where they're making their liquid oxygen and liquid nitrogen is on 3 decommissioned gas wells.
So they could literally make their own rocket fuel
Yeah.
on site.
On
They
site.
just can't get approval for it for some stupid reason. Which is why they need to suck up to Mexico. go right across the border, drill down, get the gas they need, and then pipe it across to Boca Chica.
Well,
Screw you, Uncle Sam.
They are working on a carbon recapture program to create the methane. Just pull the CO2 out of the air.
Mm-hmm.
Make them carbon. It would be what they call carbon neutral.
Yeah, the chemistry for that's not horrendously complicated.
No, not at all.
Might be expensive, but it's not.
At first, because I don't think anybody's done it. But
Once you figure out how to do it right, it wouldn't take long to pay for itself.
Well, Perseverance made oxygen and they did something with some little experiment and created. Where do you go?
I'm right here. I'm listening.
Made oxygen and something else all out of just pulling it out of the atmosphere and running it through whatever. The little machine they took up with them.
Mm-hmm.
Also in rocket news, NASA has leased a launch facility in Australia. They're going to build a launch facility and start launching rockets out of Australia. I'm not sure why.
That's different orbital inclinations.
Get to for a true, nearly true polar orbit.
Yeah,
I was about to say
that was under discussion back when I was still working for them. I'm surprised it took them this long to get there.
Well, it's NASA.
Well, it's also international, so
Not true.
Yeah.
Then
Vandenberg was where they were doing the previous polar launches from.
They still are.
So would it be easier in Australia? Is it
For southern polar orbits, yes.
yeah. For the more southern inclination orbits, yeah, it's going to be easier to do it out of Australia. So
It's a lot like flying jet airliners. If you're flying out of Australia, you can get into the areas around Australia. If you're flying out of Vandenberg, you can get in the areas around Vandenberg a lot easier than, say, flying a jet airliner from San Francisco to, Peru. But also in the news, the Pentagon has finally decided on which nuclear reactor the Army's going to get for their new mobile power station.
okay?
It's a truck-mounted nuclear reactor. Now, a lot of people are saying, we can't have mobile nuclear reactors going all over the place. Well, the Navy's been doing mobile nuclear reactors for the last 70 years. It's not that big a deal.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that the United States Army doesn't exactly have a good history of running nuclear reactors.
Let the Navy contract the Navy to do it for them. Well, of course, the Navy does have an unlimited supply of cooling.
Sort of. Depends on where they go.
And Facebook user says, howdy, y'all.
Who are you, Facebook user? We don't see your name.
There's a reason for that.
I think I'm going, next time they do a Power Rangers TV series, I think I'm going to try and get on as Zardoz, or whatever his name was. The guy that's in charge of the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zardoz.
Zardoz was someone a little bit different, I do believe. And hello.
Not really.
Hello.
He just had one Power Ranger to work with. That was the only difference. And that Power Ranger was Sean Connery. Enough said.
Hey, when you go to that level, you only need the one.
We are getting so much crossover.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
We're over here. We're over here. Hey, that's the sign of a good sniper right there. Shoot, move, find a new position, shoot from there. There. That's
I'm gonna tell you, high velocity super balls can't keep up with the topic changes in this ring.
Hey, we're giving the Niven mailing list a good run for their money as far as topic drift goes.
And Stephanie's wearing one of our shirts, and on the back it has the Stupid O'Clock logo.
We used to have like banners advertising that stuff, and you just completely forgot to start doing that stuff. You used to be really good at that.
Yeah, well,
Got busy.
nobody was buying them, so there we go. Boom.
Yeah, really. Hey, we don't even tell people to click
You might want to
like
get
and
rid.
subscribe and hit the little bell icon to get notifications when we're going to.
Yeah, that too. You might want to get rid of the part that says, mask, because nobody likes that shit anymore. And
All right, I'm working on it. I'll just do our store. Oh, and I think that link is actually changed. Let me check it here a second.
now he figures it out. And he wonders why he hadn't been selling
Hey.
no T-shirt.
I think Joe's grumpy tonight.
All that work
Blood
on the grill.
loss.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, really. He got drained by those pterodactyl-sized mosquitoes up there
In Germany, we used to call them C-130 mosquitoes. I don't know what it is about German mosquitoes, but in Germany they don't have a lot of air conditioning. They kind of don't need it.
All right, there we go. There's the new link.
There you go. Is it supposed to have that question mark on the end?
That's what it says.
Just checking. Because it had me curious as to whether or not that was a question or not. Are we sure?
I don't know. Somebody click on it and find out and tell us.
I don't do clickbait. Anyway,
You've learned not to click on anything, any link that
not from Joe. No.
Been rickrolled entirely too many times. Have you not?
Give you up. Never gonna let you down.
Oh, did y'all see that video posted that said Carl Witzman's going to miss this one if you don't watch it? And it was the cats, the drive-by cat.
Yes. That was so cute.
That poor cat was just trotting along. Boom! Gets plowed over by no.
I saw one today, and they've got one of these little dressing mirrors, like it's a foot wide and like 4 foot tall.
Yeah.
It's sitting on the floor there, and these two cats are sitting in front of it. And one cat's looking at it. He looks over at the other cat. And he looks at the cat's reflection in the mirror. And he looks over at the other cat. And he looks at the cat's reflection in the mirror. And you can see him pawing at the reflection on the mirror. Then he reaches over and paws the cat. And then he reaches around behind the mirror trying to figure out where this other cat's coming from.
Okay. Carl says he
Welcome back, Bill.
Yeah, I mute my phone, but you can't mute the smartwatch. It's going to ring regardless.
Okay.
Got a hammer?
Carl, it's working for me.
Hmm?
You got a hammer? You can mute the smartwatch. You might not be able to use it again, but you can mute it.
No.
If at first you don't succeed, use a bigger hammer.
That's the tanker motto. That's
Hey,
the guy
And
who
I've been
works
It
working
worked
on
the moon.
something while you've been talking
Cool.
rocket science. It's a commission for somebody. But anyway, So, something else this is the anniversary of today. On this day in 1880, the very first dime novel was published. And did you know that dime novels were not a dime? They were actually 15 cents from the very get-go, I guess. I was reading a thing
like
about
a 5 and dime store where everything was $15.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
go to your GC Murphy's and say, hey, where's all the nickel and dime stuff?
I miss Murphy's and Woolworth. And strangely enough, they still have Woolworths in Germany. They're disappeared in the United States, but they still have them in Europe.
Our Woolworths are gone, but Rockville, Indiana still has a GC Murphy, and they still have the pet department in there where you could buy the rabbits and goldfish and all that.
Do they have the toy section?
Yes.
For a long time, that was where I bought all my little plastic models. It was Murphy's, Woolworths, and Otasco. I don't know if Bill, do you remember Otasco? I don't know if they had it up north where you're at.
No.
Otasco was actually kind of like an auto parts store, but you could buy toys and rifles. They had rifles and ammunition and toys and just all sorts of cool stuff.
Do you know who has the best model department now? Is Hobby Lobby.
Yep.
Really?
Oh my God! I thought I was going back in time.
They've always had a huge model.
Now the thing was, when I was
model.
growing up, we had toy stores nearby. I don't mean Toys R Us. I mean, what was that one at Highland Plaza, Joe?
A&M.
A&M Toys. Thank you. And then there was one at Eastgate that I cannot. They had everything. They had the Dinky toys for the like Space
I love
UFO. They had all the original role playing.
Space 1999.
Yeah, and they had Dungeons and Dragons and Starfleet Battles and all these original paper tabletop games. And then they had the chemistry sets. You go in and buy chemicals for a chemistry set. A&M Toys had a good chemistry section.
And they also
RC models.
Yeah, RC
with the little 049 engines. Yeah, and the glow fuel.
Yeah, that. And then the one out on Ringgold Road had this many days till Christmas. And every night at midnight it would flip over
and tell you how many days till Christmas.
And Donna used to live close by there, and one of the things was on Christmas Eve people would gather around outside to see it flip over.
Watch it go from 0 to 365.
Yep.
Cool.
What was that? There was I want to say it was Eckerd's, but I might be wrong. That was right inside the main entrance to Northgate Mall. And it was just to the left as you went into the main entrance at Northgate Mall. And if you went in there, they had a toy section. And their model section for plastic models was excellent. They just had everything. Like had a whole aisle of nothing but plastic models.
Carl and Donna will tell you in Danville, downtown, they had a Woodbury's drugstore. And you walk down into the basement, and at the header across the basement, the top of the basement, as you're walking down the huge steps, it says Toyland with the great big red and white poles. And you were talking about the Dinky toys.
Oh, yeah.
They had all the cases down there for that.
Because they had the
Matchbox
that when you flip the little switch, it would shoot the disc.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had they had two different Space 1999 Eagles. One had the nuclear fuel waste that they would drop on the winch.
Right. And then I think the other one was the transporter.
And the other one was the standard transporter. And then they had the UFO, what do they call it? The interceptors from UFO. And it would shoot the big nuclear missile off the front of the nose. They had all the they had the Green Hornets car and the James Bond car.
Yep.
The Austin
Black
Martin.
BD.
Yep.
yes.
Black Beauty.
Well,
Aston
and
Martin.
Corgi was the other big one. That's the ones that really went to town on the licensing and got all for the Batmobile and the Green Hornet Black Beauty and the Monkey Mobile and all that stuff. And I still have my Green Hornet. I still have my Corgi Batmobile that you had the little plastic missiles that shot out the tubes in the back.
Yeah, I remember that.
I can't remember which store it was, but every time I went in there, I was looking at all the new models for all the airplanes and tanks and stuff like that. But they always had the Beatles yellow submarine model.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's cute. And I never got it because I just was not that big a Beatles fan back then. But I'm thinking, oh my God, if I still had that thing. There's no telling how much that thing's worth now. I mean,
Oh, at one time I had the USS Guppy from Captain Crunch, and it would actually float in a bathtub.
With baking soda, right?
No,
No,
it was just
no.
it was a ship, his pirate ship, the
Yeah.
USS Guppy.
Well, I remember that. Oh, I thought you meant like sunk down and
Oh, no.
raised up
No,
like
no,
the.
No, because it's Captain
Nope.
Crunch. It stays crunchy in milk.
Yeah. Well,
There were these toys we had as kids that were so great. I had the 3-foot tall Saturn V plastic toy. It wasn't a model. It was, it was a plastic toy. Red, white, and blue. Instead of black and white like the original Saturn V was, it was red, white, and blue. Which
Yep.
was
One
fun.
of my best friends from high school had the actual plastic model, and it was more than 3 feet tall.
The one I'm talking about, it was kind of cool because it actually, the stages would separate and they clipped together like Tupperware. And it even had the launch escape tower on top, just the whole 9 yards. And you could pull. It's kind of cool. You could pull open the section that covered the lunar module, and it was actually in there. You couldn't pull it out.
And John
but
used it
inside the module section.
And John used it to hold his tea, coffee, and flour and sugar.
But let's see, what was it? I went down to Huntsville one time when the space shuttle was still being built. The space shuttle wasn't active yet, but it was being built. And they had the little space shuttle models you buy where the doors would open in the back. Had the lab, like you could see the lab in the bottom of it.
The space lab, yeah.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of those.
I remember when I was a kid, I had, and it came out, I forget if it came out of Tang or Space Food Sticks or cereal or what, but I had a little lunar rover that you put a rubber band on it, you wound it up, and the lunar rover would go taking off across.
Right off the edge of the table.
Yeah.
My next door neighbor.
Hey, it would run through the grass. I mean, it wasn't but about, yay big, but if you wound it up tight enough, it could handle the grass.
My next door neighbor's kid had one of these Nerf airplanes that you throw it, lock it up. And I found it in the yard today, so I threw it back over to them. And poor dog got it. And it got me thinking about all them damn balsa wood airplanes I bought as a kid.
Oh wow, yeah.
And had the rubber band and the propeller you'd wind up 150 times and break away.
What was the ones that they made? It was a balsa wood airplane, but it was kind of made to look like a goofy character. Something silly. I remember those from the early 70s, and you spent, what was it, a quarter, 50 cents for one? Came in the package like all the other ones.
I
remember when they were about 15
cents. It was a clear red plastic rocket. You had to fill it up with so much water, and you put the little pump on it, and you pump up the pressure on it. And when you flip the clip on it, it would, and I mean, God help you if you got hit in the face with that damn thing when it launched. Let me tell you.
Yeah, but man, if you were under it when it went, you got a nice shower.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I had all the Estes type stuff too.
Oh yeah.
I still got some. Estes igniters lying there
There was a bunch of people in my high school that were into building the launchable Estes rockets. Yeah,
I always wanted to
had
get
a
one
day
of the.
where they actually got some of the really deluxe ones. I mean, they
I
had
always
spent
wanted to get the
time
one with
and
the
money
camera
on
on it.
this.
Never did because that
Donna is drunk texting again.
clock through Barada Nikto.
And there's another reference.
What?
I'm trying to find the Stupid O'Clock store. I can't find the Stupid O'Clock store. I can find the HallowCon's store.
You took the question mark off, right?
Now wait a minute. Do they close those stores after a certain amount of time?
Oh no. Well,
Maybe it's a holiday.
Stephanie ordered a shirt. It should still be working.
yeah, it's still working. Stephanie ordered a shirt, but I don't know how to access it.
I accessed it from the link in the Stupid O'Clock group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it in the dashboard for Teespring, but only thing there is the HallowCon store.
Ah, well. Oh, I did have a question.
42.
Beat me to it.
Doesn't jive. No, and that's not the answer I was looking for. Next week, Thursday and Saturday, we're all going to be there. What are we going to do?
Oh, for Stupid O'Clock? I don't know.
I don't know either because I haven't even looked to see what my schedule is. And having just finished that drink, I now will depart.
Oh,
She wasn't joking.
Yep.
I don't know.
And I do believe I have a panel on Saturday night at 9.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, we'll just take a week off.
We can do that. People will be suffering from withdrawal symptoms, so you never realize. But,
Well, see, what'll happen is if we're not here Thursday and Saturday night, those people will miss us. And we'll tell people how much they miss us. And then when we come back, they'll bring those people to come watch, to like, and subscribe.
No, what they'll
love
say
your
is, "Hey, did you
incredulity."
hear? They took off Stupid O'Clock. Facebook took them off the air. They're not on anymore. I tried watching Thursday and Saturday both, and they weren't on."
Ha ha!
And then the rumors will just fly.
I found it.
Oh, okay. Arr.
Erg.
Ooh.
Ergo. Yeah.
Feel like a pirate. Arr.
Oh,
On the
and
shoulder again, I'll kill it. Arr.
Sarah Heiser, if you're still in there, when did you buy your Viewmaster Coronation set that you posted on Facebook? I was talking to Dan and them backstage about that earlier. I think she's still there. But
She posted a minute ago. So, yeah.
oh, and Carl likes my idea. Now, I didn't say it was my idea. I just said how people get.
That's right. Remember, everybody blame Bill. It's his fault.
Stupid O'Clock got launched into outer space on a SpaceX rocket, so they won't be on until further notice. Early 50s, there you go. So,
Yeah, that thing ought to be worth some money. And not that I'm advising you sell it, but get it appraised anyway. And don't go to the pawn shop TV retail because they'll just offer you $25 no matter what.
Don't go to Pawn
It's
Stars.
worth $250,000, but hey, $25 is the best I can do.
I'd like to give you $7,000 for it, but unless you get Chumley. Now, Chumley, you can generally tend to get more money out of him.
Well, I mean, I would just like to wander around in their shop and look at the price tags and go, yeah, I'll give you $25 for it, but best I can do. They'd probably throw me out and call the cops.
I like watching that
My
show.
luck, I get Adam 12.
But more and more, when I watch that show, I get to thinking, I'm kind of wondering if those people are kind of, well, the one, he's dead, the old man is, but I know somebody I knew went to Las Vegas and they said they went over to that store and they said they didn't see any of them. They said they didn't recognize anybody they saw there. And I'm like, well, you think that's where they're at 24/7? No, I mean,
No, yeah, old man's gone, and they're only there on filming days now.
Yeah.
well, and I was going to say Chumley was in jail for a while there, thinking he's back out.
Shouldn't have asked $25,000 for that shrimp scampi. I mean, it came from a truck stop, so. Oh. Next weekend's gonna be weird.
Is LibertyCon next weekend?
I
thought it was the 17th.
It is. It's weekend after next. My
Okay.
Father's Day weekend.
My mistake.
All right. Don't scare me like that.
Tomorrow's gonna be weird at LibertyCon. Well, wait a minute. If you're at LibertyCon tomorrow, that is gonna be weird. There's obviously a big blue box involved.
LibertyCon is the weekend of the 17th to the 19th, and it starts in 7 days, 16 hours, 46 minutes, and 0 seconds.
Very good.
Well, they actually have a counter at the top.
Yes, I know. I've been there. I looked at it when I was trying to find my panel schedule. So,
But is that an atomic clock?
I'm waiting for a bunch of people to start emailing me. Can you work, con suite or,
hey,
gaming or security or something?
Lindsay has decided that she is going to explore the possibilities of a Shirley Temple at the con suite at the bar. Since it has no alcohol and she hasn't had a drink in a long time. I mean, seriously, it's interfering with her stomach and the digestive problem where she had to give up avocados. Do you know how much that woman loves avocados? I mean, this is like torture for her. But doing away with the stomach pain and being able to sleep at night all night through. She's changed her diet 2 or 3 times trying to figure out exactly what it is that's, if you excuse the term, bugging her. But it pretty much seems to be anything green.
Has she seen a gastrologist or anybody about it?
She's a retired nurse, so she knows the drill pretty much herself.
Yeah,
so.
but
no,
they could clue her in on some other things that come up with. My mom was a retired nurse.
Good night, Dan. Darden. after I said that, I figured I had to make it clear.
When you said she was entertaining the idea of Shirley Temple, I thought you were going to say she was going to cosplay as Shirley Temple at the convention.
Nope. Evidently, there was either a movie or a show she was watching, and it was something she was very curious why they were serving it to people underage, and then she looked it up and found out it's a non-alcoholic mixed drink.
She does know that root beer doesn't have any actual beer in it, right?
Yep, she does, but
ginger ale is not actually an ale.
And ginger beer is not actually beer. Yes. I think she figured that one out before she was 12.
Now,
and yet, when I go to buy ginger beer at the store, they always card me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love doing that. Well, I've got the one downstairs, the butterscotch beer.
Mm-hmm.
And I got carded for that. I just sat there at the register while they were asking for my ID, just staring at them like,
did you read the label besides the barcode?
Yeah, big sign on the front says non-alcoholic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure the people that buy the near beer and all the 3 or 4 different brands that my local grocery stores offer still get carded for the non-alcoholic beer.
What was that real famous one there for a while back in the 80s?
O'Doul's?
O'Doul's, yeah.
O'Doul's,
that's the only one I can think of.
How to get this thing leveled is a pain in.
Good question. It's backwards, Stephanie. You got to do the
It's
other.
not
There
backwards.
you go. Okay.
No, it's forward.
No, the right and left is reversed.
Yeah, the right and left are back.
This is my right. This is my left.
This is my right.
So.
I still got to get
O'Doul's.
that too.
This is my right.
O'Doul's has 2 flavors. They have a clear that comes in a green container and an amber, which comes in a brown container. The clear sucks. The amber is actually fairly tasty. And it's kind of funny. When I was stationed in Iraq, for some reason, we had a pallet load of this stuff in 12 packs show up. And everybody's, it's not alcoholic beer, don't alcoholic. And I took as much of that stuff back to my bunker as I could for 2 reasons. 1, it tasted pretty good. 2, it was great for cooking because you could use it as a marinade for the steaks and chickens and stuff like that you get hold of.
And stay hydrated.
And stay hydrated. It's carbs and water. I mean, it's Gatorade, just beer flavored. And
don't give Gatorade any ideas. I don't make that much damn money.
But it was kind of nice. The Army was actually thinking, because we were all kind of stuck at our bunkers, and if we were getting shelled or something like that, they didn't want us wandering around trying to get to the mess hall. So everybody had their own little kitchenette in their bunker. So we had a deep freezer and a refrigerator, and we keep food stocked up and cereal, because you never knew when you were going to be out on missions. Just because you were scheduled didn't mean that was when you were going to be working. And especially if you're on quick reaction force, you might be called out at 2, 3 in the morning. You might not get back in time for any of the mess hall meals, so you might have to cook your own meals at 2 and 3 in the morning. So that was pretty good. And it was kind of, somebody asked me about it. I took a Ziploc bag, threw a couple steaks in it, added some salt and one of those near beer or the O'Doul's Amber to it, and the steaks were frozen solid, just little hockey puck type things. Took it out, threw it on the hood of the Humvee out in the sunshine for about 30 minutes. Not only was it defrosted, it was damn near half cooked.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine, yeah.
So
if you'd put it inside, it would have been broiled in its own juices in about 30 minutes.
Did it taste like plastic?
Roll the windows up.
Took it back in, threw it on the hot plate, grilled it, seared it pretty good. And it was actually, everybody's like, chop some onion, throw it on top of the steak, a little garlic, and it's good to go. And Mrs. Dash, you cannot. Oh, the United States Army pretty much runs on Mrs. Dash. For those of you who don't know, if Mrs. Dash went under, they went bankrupt or something like that, the Army would grind to a halt.
Well, that and Tabasco sauce.
Tabasco too is pretty good, but there, of course, there's other hot sauces. Frank's is good.
Mm-hmm.
Frank's Red Hot. There was a big thing about the sriracha sauces.
Mm-hmm.
Am I pronouncing that correctly? Sriracha?
I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. There were a lot of different hot sauces. The one that killed everybody though, Devil's Blood.
What?
Devil's Blood.
Okay.
It's damn near pure capsaicin pepper.
Ooh.
It actually has. You have to sign a contract before they'll send you a bottle of it.
Oh, you can't sue us.
You can take a toothpick, put it down in the bottle, and just barely dip the toothpick in it, and then rub it in a 5-gallon pot of chili, and it will almost make the chili too hot to eat. That's how mean the stuff is. It's like 250,000 Scoville units.
Ooh.
So what's the purpose of it then? I mean, if you can't really use it.
Exactly. It apparently
a little dab will do you.
A little dab will kill you.
Oh, let me, Mike Jimmy, did you get the email I sent you earlier today? Just trying to make sure that it got through, because you sent me 24 seconds of video. You told me to write 30 seconds of music. I wrote 30 seconds of music.
Satan's Blood. I'm sorry, I had the name incorrect.
Oh, good. Thank you. I hope that it's not too awful.
It's awful. It. Yeah, it's right off the bat. It's awful.
Yeah, you never heard it.
Oh, I'm talking about Satan's Blood.
Oh,
yeah, sorry. His music's pretty good. So.
Thank you.
As far as I know,
I've never
heard bad music. So.
Who, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan's music is great. I mean, he did an entire album based on one of. Hello. That was interesting. Based on one of my series. So, yeah, I loved it. That's what I get for moving around too much and doing weird things with the wife. It's just clipped on to my laptop screen, and if I go jiggling around too much, it goes boom.
Well, Mike, it ends very quickly. I mean, suddenly, not quickly, but it ends suddenly. I wanted to go back and have it do a decrescendo, but I had already mailed it to you by that time, and it was a little bit late. I was trying to pull the curtains here for the green screen and put my shirt on and get in the studio in time for the show by the time I'd actually got everything done.
And Bill, your requested shirt is available.
Oh, cool. I'll take a look for it. What, from the group?
Yeah, I got it up on the website now.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. I've been creating products for the show.
Well, yeah, I think I badgered you about this last week. You need to get this stuff up on here and do a little commercial break and get people the links that they can get in there and buy their stupid o'clock shirts and their face masks and their coffee mugs and suppositories and everything else that has stupid clock label on it.
Thank you, Ace. All these people telling me I'm doing good here. I enjoy it. I can't say anything as to the quality. If other people enjoy it, then I guess I'm doing something right.
Well, when you gave me that first piece to listen to, I mean, I was just blown away by it, and that's the reason why I was like, "Can you do more of this? Can you do an album?" So
Might take me a
yeah,
couple of weeks. Yeah.
and that's fine. But yeah, it's gorgeous. The
Oh, bless you. You got it. You got into John's hot sauce, didn't you?
Oh, have any of y'all watched Hot Ones on YouTube?
I've heard of it.
I'm thinking about doing that at HallowCon. You know, started out, get a couple of the guests up there, and
thank you, Donna.
Hmm.
um, and started out, with the mild, and I'll ask a couple of questions, and we eat. Instead of chicken wings, we'll do chicken nuggets. That way we don't have no bones to throw away or anything.
Wait a minute, what did I miss while I was hacking out alone?
I'm thinking about doing a Hot Ones. You've seen the Hot Ones on YouTube.
Yeah,
Bring the guest in, and it gets progressively hotter with the hot sauce.
yeah, no, I ain't doing that one. No way. I
Nope.
like my digestive tract too much for that.
If it gets much above mild, it's out of my league.
Hey, Joe Dog, I see the shirt in here, and I see the description. Thank you.
Yep.
But I also see the price being considerably different than the Get Stupid With Us shirts and the other ones. Is it a different type of T-shirt or different blend, or?
I don't think so. I mean, that's the price that Teespring set. I'll have to look at it. I didn't look at the price. I'll see what I can do to change it around.
They saw you coming, Bill.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Well,
Curse you, Teespring.
Everything has gone up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because they're saying the other ones are $21.99 and $22.99, and those are front and back graphics on them. And then this one is, I'll just say, a considerable bit more, and of course, just the graphic on the front, which is fine.
Yeah. I'll look into it now that I know how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get to it.
It does say a different name on the tee. That's why I asked you if it was a different blend or something.
I didn't look. It's just
Yeah.
I've always clicked the first T-shirt, so.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to look.
Now, John, you've got some interesting decoration there on the green screen. What is that?
This is the Satan's Blood hot sauce. I was wrong. It's not a quarter. It's only 800,000 Scoville units.
No, that's more.
It still sounds like a
Yeah.
considerable amount
That's
to me.
that's more than 3 times what you originally said.
Okay. No,
Mhm.
okay. So,
Yeah, no, I'll pass on that. Thank you.
You
No,
have that
and
with
no-
your
if
add
you
that to your
order it-
Black Rifle coffee in the morning.
if you order the stuff, you actually have to sign a waiver.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's
Joe, if you do that game,
Yeah.
I will happily watch, but seriously, with my IBS,
I know. No, I'm thinking maybe Brian Morris and Ted Davies and
John.
others.
I was born in Biloxi.
John
My
likes
baby
hot
bottles
sauce.
had hot sauce in them.
Hey.
I love watching these kids, stupid kids, that chug-a-lug the cinnamon, and then all of a sudden they can't breathe and they don't figure out why.
Cinnamon is
cloud,
hydrophobic. It does not mixed with water.
Oh, I bought some. You remember I made that pot of chili and it wound up being too hot.
Yeah.
Well, I reseeded a bunch of the chili peppers that I'd used. I kept the seeds.
Yeah.
Planted a bunch of them. My habaneros didn't come up. Or, I'm sorry, my jalapenos didn't come up. My habaneros did come up. I've got one out by the mailbox now in a planter that's starting to grow. The peppers are coming up on it.
Ooh.
And I was growing all these different peppers. I had 4 different types of peppers. And it started raining really hard and wind picked up. So I grabbed them all, put them in the greenhouse, and I mixed them up. So I wasn't sure which one was which anymore. I had them all organized at one time, but when I, in a hurry, tried to get them out of the storm, messed up my organization. So I had all these pepper plants. I didn't know which pepper plant was which is not a terrible problem because eventually they start making peppers, and you can tell by the peppers what they are. So I just thought one of the ones I put out by the mailbox has habaneros on it. So I kind of, and it actually started growing peppers today. So like,
well, if it's out by the mailbox, maybe it'll cut down the amount of junk mail you get.
Well, I've got this ornamental thing out by the mailbox, and it holds flower pots.
Yeah.
So I've got a bunch of 1-gallon flower pots out there with, like, different types of peppers, different types of flowers and stuff. And it's kind of funny. I put signs out front hoping that the guy who walks his dogs in the neighborhood won't let his dogs pee all over my basil plants. And the basil is actually in the ground in front of the mailbox. So once it grows up, I'm going to have these lovely, smelly basil plants with flowers that attract bees and hummingbirds and all sorts of stuff like that. And on warm days, my front yard smells like dill and basil and rosemary and thyme and sage and all these great herbs coming out.
Everything in your family.
Scarborough Fair, in other words.
Pretty much. That's my family's spaghetti sauce recipe. Parsley, sage, rosemary.
Now we know how to find John's house. Just drive around until you smell a pizza.
Don't laugh. The neighbors had their nieces and nephews over, and they're like 2 and 3 years old. And they were sitting on their deck watching me in my yard while I was planting stuff. And they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm planting plants." I said, "This one's a pizza plant." And they're like, "Pizza?" "Yeah, I'm growing pizza." And it's basil. But the kids are like staring at it like, "Pizza?"
Where does the pizza come out?
I just posted a picture of my hen and chicks planter
I saw that. Yeah.
in the link in there. I kid you not, this thing, it's growing. I turn around, I look the other way, and then I look back, and then I see something else new sprouting out from it. I think it is alien life form, and it will take over the earth sometime, but probably Illinois first.
There were several of my elderly aunts, once and twice removed in the family, that they would grow those. They had a humongous tree stump in the front yard about waist high, and had the entire top of it was a planter for various kinds of succulents, and they had the hen and chicks, and had lots of other varieties of succulents, and they were just absolutely brilliant at growing these things, because I have a hard time. I absolutely love cacti of all varieties, and I have a hard time growing them. But there's a lot of water in the air here, so that might be one of the problems.
Good night, Carl. I guess.
Good night, Carl.
Too.
Good night, Donna.
The cat rules.
Yeah, they don't like getting too wet.
Yeah. Yep.
And to properly water them is with a mister. You got to spritz them with a mister. That's it. You can't pour water into the top, even if you think you're just doing little droplets of water from your container. It's still way too much.
We have a barrel cactus
and
in our greenhouse. and we don't water it. It just stays in the greenhouse, and all the moisture coming up from everything else keeps it going.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the humidity in the air too is a way that they draw their water as well. I fell butt first in a barrel cactus at my great grandfather's house when I was about 6 years old, and it put the fear of God in me with cactuses for a long time before I could ever get near one afterwards. But he had them in his living room. He had this built up brick planter that was basically about 3.5 foot tall by 2 foot wide by 6 foot long, that went all along the front of his picture window. And he had all these different cactuses and different succulents in there. And when I was a kid, when we would go to his house, visit him, I would climb up on the ledge of that and act like I'm doing the tightrope walk along the ledge. And one day I slipped, and man, and I'll tell you what, he spent about 30 minutes picking spines out of my keister. And then after what I did to the cactus, then my keister got lit up a little bit later that
put
evening
the spines
by
back.
my dad. Yeah.
And Stephanie,
Well-
I just saw your LibertyCon schedule.
Yeah.
I guess, what time are you coming up Thursday? Because you ain't going to have time Friday to go eat.
Dadgummit. I'm gonna get there. Well, it kind of depends on the traffic. Hang on, let me look at my outboard brain. I should be getting there. I'm going to be leaving here around 3:30 or 4 o'clock. And normally it's about an hour and a half drive if the traffic isn't heavy. And I don't know what it's going to be at that time of day. And then I've got a time change in there, so.
Well, they close at 8 o'clock on Thursdays.
Oh, we may not make it. Let me look at the schedule.
Yeah, your first thing's at 11 o'clock on Friday morning.
Well, that's the guest of honor lunch, though. It looks like Friday evening after the We Shall Rise roundtable, I can grab some dinner with y'all.
Well, they close at 8 is the thing. And it's 7 o'clock. That'll be 7 o'clock. I mean, it'd be one of those run out the doors.
Just park the car in the lecture hall. Just have her jump in and just drive right out.
Yeah, I don't know. And this is a light schedule for me, or it was supposed to have been.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
11 o'clock Friday, 2, 3, 5, 6.
11 o'clock Saturday, 1, 3, 4, 6:30, 11. And then 2 o'clock on Sunday.
Well, let me look. What is their Sunday hours? Well, after that, where'd it go? There it is. Sunday too. Yeah, after closing ceremonies, we could head down there after that. It's usually
Okay.
about 4 when they're done.
Yeah. So, I mean, once I get loaded up, the only thing I got left to do, I'll be going home Sunday night, but I don't have to leave right away. So, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we'll just do Sunday. Sunday
Okay.
again.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah, actually, a lot of the stuff that they've got me scheduled for are things like autograph sessions.
Uh,
I got one reading, one, two, three, four autograph sessions.
Uh,
So,
and Dan Butler's going to be there, I see.
yep.
yes.
And he's bringing chocolate chip shortbread cookies.
Hmm.
Steph's gonna have to hang out with him some.
Nice to him.
Oh, he and I get along real good. So
Yep. He and Lindsay get along like a house on fire, and
it's really funny. He ticked off one of my fans on my Facebook page because he was giving me grief like he usually does, and she got mad at him for it. I was like, no, 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 it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So I had to settle that one down because she got PO'd at him, and she started telling him off, and he was like, just go away, he's being his typical curmudgeon self, and that was just escalating, and I was like, oh no. So
He's one of those that thrives on discourse.
he does, yeah, and he has this dry sense of humor, and if you don't know him, you don't know that he's teasing you.
Yeah.
mhm.
And because I mean, his I've talked to him one on one. He's a really, really, really nice guy, but he has a character that he projects that is a curmudgeon, and I'm sure he
Sounds like
can
my
be.
type of guy.
Oh, he's a
But
lot of fun. He is
oh
a
yeah,
lot of fun.
oh yeah. I mean, we went to before one of the confinements up near Nashville.
Yeah.
We went to a whole bunch of us went to the range to shoot, and he brought some antique stuff, and that stuff. I mean, it was like pow, and you think a cannon had gone off, and meanwhile everybody was getting a kick out of me because one of my bucket list items has been to shoot a machine gun, an automatic, a full automatic. Mike brought one. Mike Williamson,
Yeah.
and he just handed it to me. And this I was gimping, so they parked me in a folding chair. So I actually shot from a folding chair, and I didn't realize what he'd handed to me. Just shoot it. And so I did, and I pulled the triggers, and I'm like, and everybody started laughing because it was just like this delighted evil giggle, and I'm just like, this. So I played with that for some time through
They are
several magazines.
they are fun, but they're so expensive to use.
Yeah, but I
Never
appreciated
mind
that.
the cost of the firearm itself or the license. It's the ammo. I mean, you go through buckets full.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's
I
why I
mean,
like a muzzle loader.
in
Boom!
yeah, that's kind of the way Dan Butler's guns were. Boom, and and we're outside, and it's like, dang, my sinuses reacted to that.
Is that wall supposed to fall down?
But
John know this. Aren't most muzzle loaders 50 cals?
No, most modern ones are.
Modern ones, yes.
Um,
They go from what 30, 35 to 42 to somewhere just below 50.
The standard
the-
pistol for a long time, the Colt pistols, were 36 caliber.
36.
He would not let me fire the thing. Mike would not let me fire the thing that or did he? He made this monster gun, and I did some of the calculations for him on it, on how much force and barrel velocity, muzzle velocity, and all this kind of stuff. And I had a husband die since then, so I can't remember if I shot the darn thing or not. But even with the recoil dampening he put on it, he said it still had a monster kick. So
my very first fully automatic weapon that I ever shot, Ray O'Haran, and Carl and Donna's already went to bed, but they'll know him. He's a very famous gun dealer, and he sells a lot of police equipment to the local authorities around here. He let me shoot a 1921 Thompson submachine gun with the big barrel clips and that on there. I mean, to tell you, I never had so much fun in my life. And yes, I did do my best James Cagney while I was shooting it.
You dirty rat.
I'm coming,
Look, Ma, I'm on top of the world.
Top of the world, Ma.
I just need
Right.
to start running this across the bottom because we hit so many genres. Hey, it's fair use.
And Bill, just so you know, 1928 Thompson.
Or what did I say?
21.
Oh, okay. My fault.
Oh,
My boo-boo.
there's so many damn numbers out there. It's not even fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Oh, it was a joy. And yes, it had a wonderful kick to it. But he told me how to hold it, ahead of time.
There was a friend of mine had one, and strangely enough, and this is the lovely part, on the side of his it says "Property of the Chattanooga City Police Department."
Wow.
That's some old school Thompson right
Yeah.
there. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear.
He let me shoot it because I was one of the few people who know how to load the drums.
I have one that is it's not full automatic. It is a semi-automatic, and it is a clone of Thompson. It's not an actual Thompson, but it's a copycat, and it was made by some friends of my dad up in Oak Ridge, and it's like some of his friends from the machine shop had their own machine shop at home.
Yeah, as you
And-
will.
And they made replica Tommy guns, semi-automatic, fully legal at the time and even now. No way to even attempt to convert it to full auto, and it took some kind of an adapter on the magazines. It was not, you could not put a Thompson magazine in it; it wouldn't fit. It was some other kind. I think it was a grease gun magazine that had some stuff welded on it so that it would fit in. But very, very nice, very accurate, very gentle for a 45. But in a rifle, little bitty, teeny tiny 45 cartridges. Most of the recoil is absorbed by the weight of the rifle itself. I mean, it might have a kick in a pistol, and believe me, I've got one. It doesn't, but it's negligible in that heavy a piece of ordnance, and it's fun. And I need to go out and target shoot some more, but stuff is so expensive nowadays, I can't afford it.
I know I just recently got my FOID card updated, and I hadn't bought any 45 ammunition. Oh, shoot. Well, I bought a lot a while back, and so I had plenty for quite a while. But now I thought, oh, okay, I got the Boyd car. I'm going to go out and get some more ammunition. And I got looking around Rural King, a couple different places around here. I'm like, oh my God, it's gone up so horrible.
Yes, it has. Everything has. I went about 2, maybe 3 years ago and got some practice ammo for Lindsay's little 38, so we could actually, let her know about the recoil of it, which is 38. Might as well be a dart gun, a rubber stopper dart gun. But that was some expensive stuff. I also got a fistful of
dynamite.
No, it was
dollars.
$45
more,
and 357, and it was sold in Ziploc baggies, not boxes. So,
there's a lot of good companies
really cut down.
that.
Well, this I went out to one of the gun shops locally, and the guy just had big like a whiskey barrel full of bullets, and he just weigh out a handful and put it in a Ziploc, and there you go. Here's 50 rounds.
You can order ammunition from the ammunition manufacturers in 55-gallon drums and 30-gallon drums. And there are gun shops that'll order them that way, and they'll literally scoop them out and scoop you a bag full.
Yeah, really.
Can't do that no more, can you?
Yeah.
Like buying bird seed.
Yeah, you can order it from Federal. You can order a drum of, if I remember correctly, 5.56 ammo has, a 55-gallon drum is 138,000 rounds of ammo.
Okay.
That'll last a weekend.
That's a lot of thumb action loading magazines.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a fun weekend.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun week.
Just loading.
For you.
Just loading, yeah. Oh.
John, isn't that what the wives are for? Or the kids, or the grandkids, or
innocent bystanders.
That is what the grandkids are for. But
here, load my gun.
Yeah, they want to shoot the gun. That's the problem.
Hey, Jimmy goes, just FYI, for a Dutchman, that sounds like a ridiculous amount of ammo. For a Southern boy, for a USA Southern boy, that's a lot of damn ammo.
Joe?
Yeah.
Watch your back.
All right. Shut the door. Thanks for the warning, John.
And Dalek. Them Daleks is sneaking up on you.
Yeah. My son doesn't like pennies, so he gives them all to me. So I just save them up and save them up, save them up.
And drop them in that little machine at the grocery store.
No.
Get a gift card.
No, shoot, no. I go to the bank and cash them in.
Yeah.
Really?
I save them up and save them up, then me and Donna go out for dinner and leave him here.
No, that's, those machines at the grocery store will give you gift cards for restaurants now.
Yep, they still take 10%. Walmart's take 12%.
I don't think they take 10% on gift cards. The gift card company gets that. So if you put $10 in pennies in there, you get a $10 gift card. The company loses the 10%.
Okay.
Red Lobster's paying for that.
Yep. Shooting ranges are great fun, but you have to obey all safety rules. Make sure you got the eye protection, ear protection, everything that's required.
Well, I told you about going. I told y'all about going skeet shooting the other day, didn't I?
Oh, that's something I've never been able to do.
Well, I
What-
became a member of the Clay Pigeon Preservation Society.
In other words, you didn't hit shit.
I was going to say, what did Skeet ever do to you?
The hard part, skinning them little some bitches.
Those Skeets are
Find a
tough.
recipe. Find a recipe. Let me tell you, that's really hard.
Smoked with barbecue sauce and Tabasco sauce. Put enough Tabasco sauce on a clay skeet, you can eat that some bitch.
The Marines will eat anything.
First time I ever got to shoot skeet, strange enough, I was in the Army. I was stationed in Berlin. I got to go to the 1936 Olympic shooting ranges.
Yeah.
Oh,
What? Cat or cramp?
cat's clawing my feet.
Cat cramp.
Cat cramp.
Well, it is just about time to wrap up. I hope Stephanie can get back. There she
Oh,
is.
there she is.
I'm back.
Yep.
I had a cat deciding to do this on my feet.
So you spontaneously
feel good.
invented the catapult.
Nursing your feet.
No, I just
Acupuncture.
had to get yeah, catch-a-puncher.
Catch-a-puncher.
All right, we got like 30 seconds and then high flight.
Yep. So let's say let's go ahead and do the good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, con Dios, amigos.
John, if you would hang around after the show, I'm going to talk to you about something.
Me?
And
You're in trouble.
no,
hope so.
John's not in trouble.
Life would be boring if I'm not.
You got to stay after school, John.
Them chalkboards ain't gonna clean themselves.
No.
Yeah, John's got DT.
All right. So let's say good night, everybody, and we'll talk to y'all Saturday night. Good
meow,
night.
meow, meow.
Good night, Elron. He's like, what?
He's like, I don't care. I'm a cat.
Good night, everybody.
What?
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.